Zen DeBrucke is an internationally renowned inspirational teacher, speaker, author, and coach. Her passion is teaching people to tap into their innate inner guidance to generate consistent, successful results in life. The result is replacing exhaustion, anxiety, and fear and dread with ease, joy, flow, and fulfillment. Zen's programs have helped thousands of people all over the world transform their lives for the better, with sustained positive changes in their business and personal lives. Her compassion radiates through her work, and her style is down to earth, practical, humorous, and wise. We had a lovely connection, and we decided to get together again, and this time to talk about her new program called The Art of Quantum Miracles, and we're going to do that in a 4-part series. And today I'm welcoming back my really good friend Zen DeBrucke, and she's here today with part 1 of her 4-part series we're going to do together called The Art of Quantum Miracles. Hi Zen, I've missed you.
I've missed you too. I'm so happy to be back here with you. I love talking with you, and we share so much together that's in common around the energy work that's happening on the planet right now. I'm just happy we get a chance to go deeper with it.
Me too. You know, I think I might vibrate myself through my own floor right now, just saying hello to you like this. The connection, the energy is really quite extraordinary every time I get to talk to you. And I'm not exactly sure what's in store, but I think you and I are going to have a lot of fun down the road.
I do too, and I'm feeling the same way. So it's not just you. It's definitely me too. I'm filled with a vibration and an energy right now that I hope the listeners can get a little bit of it, because it's quite nice.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's just waving over me. So Zen is going to tell us a little bit about her new program in The Art of Quantum Miracles, but it starts with all about the IGS and why it's important. So Zen, tell us, what is the IGS and why is it important?
Great. So IGS stands for Internal Guidance System. And I've spent the last 15 years really teaching. I've been researching for over 30, but for the past 15, teaching thousands of individuals that they have a factory installed guidance system. We all, every single one of us, everyone, including you, me, the listeners, everyone has a factory installed guidance system, like a GPS in the car. And it is helping us to step out of our personality or our ego. It resides in the center of our body. We'll do a little exercise here in a minute, between the throat and the upper solar plex area. And it is expanding and contracting all throughout our day, letting us know if the thoughts that are being produced by us are in alignment and moving us towards ultimate happiness and success in our lives, but also onto our divine blueprint. What I've discovered is we each have a path. We have a blueprint that is the optimal life, where we contribute our gifts the most, where we are a part of the whole in a harmonious way, and our divine self shines and ripens. And that is what this internal guidance system is all about, is helping us to, because what takes us away from that blueprint is our thoughts, is the stories our mind concocts about people and situations, and then we have reactions and emotions come in, and all of these things are not wrong, but they're difficult to get out of. It's like a big giant hallucination that each person has. Each of us are hallucinating our own life, and to move out of that hallucination and into what is real and true is the job of the internal guidance system. So that's why it's so crucial in everyone's life.
Zen, do we naturally know the internal guidance system is something else? I mean, is the internal guidance system our intuition?
You know, it isn't. That's what's interesting. I believe, and what I've found is that there's intuition, which each person has intuitive gifts, whether they develop them or they take the time to really even recognize that is, whatever. But that intuition is like where you get outside information and it comes in particular ways. Some people feel it, some people hear it, some people see things. There's hunches, there's thought bodies, like entire thoughts that come into people's minds. Each of these are but clairsentient, clairaudient kind of thing, empath. There's names for all of these types of intuition. But not everybody has every type. And the internal guidance system is something that is in every single person. And it works the same way in everyone. And it's teachable. what I teach actually, as well as manifestation. It's something that you can learn to use throughout your day. Where oftentimes intuition is something that you need to call upon, or it'll kind of hit you, strike, something will come. Your internal guidance system is really only working with your thoughts. It is connected to a divine source, I believe, and it's unique for each person where its guidance takes them. But it is the same in everyone, and I think that's why it's different. I think that's how it's a separate thing. They work beautifully together in helping an intuitive stay clear and crisp and on their path and out of any kind of selfish way of being with their intuitive gift. But yeah, I think they're two separate things.
Okay. So you're going to help us feel and find our own IGS today, right?
I am. So if you're listening to this, what you do is if you're driving or you're cooking dinner for all your kids or anything, you can come back and do this later. It's not a problem. But you want to feel the bottom of your feet as you're sitting in a chair with your hands in your lap. And I'm just going to do, it only takes a couple minutes. So if you have the time to really sit down and experience this, it won't take very long. And you just put your feet on the floor, and it's important to feel your body. So you want to really deeply feel the bottom of your feet. Just really experience, they might start tingling, there might be a little heat there as you bring your awareness to the bottom of your feet resting on the floor. And then bring your awareness to your hands that are on your lap, the palms in particular. And once again, you'll notice a little tingling sensation, a little energy. Great. And then listen to the room around you, maybe the sounds and the sound of my voice as well. And what really helps this to work is to quiet the mind. And the reason we're in the body, feeling the hands and the feet and listening deeply, is it helps quiet the mind. I'm going to give two thoughts. Just let them float through your mind like a cloud does through the sky. And here's the first thought. Being aware of your hands, your feet, and listening to my voice, here's the first thought. I do not have an internal guidance system. I do not have an internal guidance system. Notice any sensation between the throat and the upper stomach area. I do not have an internal guidance system. Good. And then bring your awareness back to your feet and your hands and listening to my voice. And here's the second sentence. I do have an internal guidance system. I do have an internal guidance system. And notice again, any different sensation between the throat and the upper solar plex area as you hold the thought, I do have an internal guidance system. Okay, wiggle your toes. So what did you feel?
Oh my goodness. Well, for me, that was very powerful. I felt, in the first statement, I felt like a sinking feeling, kind of a collapsing in my throat chakra down towards my belly. It was a contraction.
Yes, perfect. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what most people feel. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then what was the second one?
The exact opposite. It felt like an expansion. It felt like a lightness. It felt like my own sense of self was bigger in the room.
Exactly. So that's what people report. It shows up in three areas of the body: the throat, the chest area, and then the upper solar plex is where the plex area where the ribs come together. And from this first sentence, I do not have an internal guidance system, people feel a tightening, a constriction, a lump in the throat, a sinking feeling, a sick feeling in the pit of their stomach, like they can't breathe, like less air in the room. And that I call closing. And what that means when you feel that sensation, which people call that sensation, it's happening to everyone already. It's just now at this time called stress, worry, fear, anxiety, overwhelm, even like rushing feeling, being late, that rushing feeling you feel show up in your stomach or your chest area. So all of those sensations are actually guidance from your internal guidance system, and we call that closing. And it means that what you're thinking is not true or not going to happen. You're being called upon to change your way of thinking in that moment. And then the second one, I do have an internal guidance system. That feels like a release of all tension, an expansion. People feel like they're being breathed or have more air, or an upward shaped V, and we call that opening. And when people feel that, and we feel that as passion, hope, peace, an inner centeredness. That is an opening, and that means what we're thinking is true, is in alignment, is going to happen, or we're to be moving forward toward that peace. So this has been happening for everyone throughout their life, and some people have it developed beautifully in certain areas of their life. They're great parents, or they're really good with relationships, or they're good with money, or following their passion, music, arts, whatever it is. And then oftentimes people have a few areas of their life where they have a false belief system going on. They have thoughts that are not true that they got from their parents at birth to 7, and it's guiding them away from that beautiful divine blueprint. And that's the area that needs to be cleaned up, and you can use your internal guidance system very easily to move through those things and get your trajectory to your blueprint back on track.
Wow, this is really amazing. So we can use this throughout our day in both small and large ways, it sounds like.
Absolutely, yes. You can use it to discover whether you should go to the market or the post office in this moment, what things to say to your significant other or to your child. And then there's also large things, whether it's a home purchase or career changes or what you're here to be contributing, to who you're to be supporting. Every way, shape, and form, this is involved in our lives. And it's got a presence that has divine wisdom that loves each and every one of us and is uniquely tuned into each and every one of us. The divine guidance is different for each and every one of us. It's totally personalized to our life's blueprint.
Zen, do you find that people have to actually say these statements out loud, or can you end up thinking these thoughts to yourself?
Well, that's a great question. So the way that it works, or is intended to work, is you don't have to say the sentences out loud at all. That was just so that people could feel that there is a relationship between their thoughts and this part of their body. But what's happening is I teach people to, when they feel stress, worry, fear, anxiety, overwhelm, any of these sensations, and there's a few more, stop, because they're getting guidance. Okay, I'm stressed out. I'm stressed out that I'm not going to have the money for this bill. Stress is closing. The internal guidance system, my internal guidance system, is telling me I'm closed. That means that what I'm thinking is not true. So I am going to have the money for this bill. And you'll feel an ease if it's true. You'll feel the ease, and you'll be like, okay. And what happens is over time, just like working a muscle, you become to trust it more and more and more things come into your view. So it's working throughout your day. And it's more about a level of presence in what your mind is doing. And your internal guidance system operates in the closing with this tight feeling, because it's like a little tiny wake-up call, tiny alarm bell that goes off. And in that, you are able to stop, and I call it pivoting. You stop and you look for the opening thought, and you kind of pivot to that opening thought. And once you feel the opening, you know you're back on your trajectory of your blueprint, and you move forward focusing on that truth.
You know, Zen, I've been so interested in this whole concept of your inner GPS ever since I first heard you on Coast to Coast several years ago. And I really look forward to speaking with you in part 2 of this series that you're coming here to talk with me about, the art of quantum miracles. What are we going to talk about in part 2?
Oh, well, we're going to go ahead and talk about where the frustration, when I began this, it was really in searching out a really foolproof method of using the law of attraction and making sure that what I created was in alignment with God, with my higher self. I never want to create anything that isn't God approved, shall we say. And I discovered this as one of the tools, and then I quickly realized that this is one of the ways out of the doubt-hope pendulum, the way with the law of attraction, where you do a vision board, or you do something to set intentions and visualize, and then you get back into your life and it feels like the things that you really, really want that are big don't happen. So in the next segment, we're going to talk about why that is and give some tips and understandings of how to maneuver around that using this internal guidance system.
Well, that sounds great. So maybe some of our listeners might even think about going to get your book before we do part 2 of your series. And I know you said you could get the book on Amazon, your inner GPS, but I suppose you have a website as well. Can you tell us what that is?
Yes, it's zeninAmoment.com, which is also where you can find out more about the Art of Quantum Miracles work, and you can connect with me and learn more about the internal guidance system and the connection with manifestation.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for coming and telling us all about your IGS, and I look forward to part 2 of this really great series, and it's really great to connect with you again, Zen. See you next time.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.